Hello and welcome to this edition of Eat Right with Rouses. I'm your host, Keith Whiteside, licensed clinical social worker. Very glad you're joining us. However, you may be joining us here in beautiful Rouses, where we have our favorite dietitian joining us, April Siddons. Hello, April.
Hello, Keith. How are you?
I am wonderful. Thank you very, very much. It is such a wonderful time of year, and it's really important for people during the summer. You know, the kids are off, and it's very often we start to get a little lax, I think, sometimes about our diet. But this is a good time to remind everybody about staying balanced.
It really is. We're kind of hitting that mid-year time right now. And so it's a great time to remind ourselves, hey, let's take a look at our plate. Let's see if we're still, doing those things that we were trying to do at the beginning of the year.
Right. Like
are we
January.
Still doing that, right? Are we still looking at what we're eating and how much and the portions and those types of things? So that's what I wanted to go over today is basically how can we incorporate the My Plate guidelines onto our plate? Now, you might be thinking, what is a My Plate guideline?
Okay.
Well, you remember the good old food guide pyramid?
Mm-hmm.
Well, this took the place of the food guide pyramid. So that's why you really don't see much about the food guide pyramid anymore. They kind of took an approach where how can people actually, instead of looking at a pyramid with a million things on it, how can people actually just take the plate, look at it, and know how much of each food group to put on it?
Right.
So that's what we're going to be going through. And most of the time, if you see in the upper right-hand corner of the screen, there's the little plate, and it has the fruit and the vegetable sections. It has grains, protein, and dairy. Most of the time, we have our grains covered. We have our protein covered. A lot of times, we don't have a lot of fruit and vegetables on the plate. So I'm basically going to kind of zone in on those for today.
Okay.
Just
Fruits
because
and
there's a lot that we could talk about the plate.
Sure.
But whenever we're talking about a fruit, there's the serving size is about a cup of fruit. Now, it can vary according to, different people's frame size and their nutritional needs. But in general, a cup of fruit is what it is, a cup of fruit. But it also, if you're looking at dried fruit, you might wonder, how much do I use a cup of dry fruit? No, it's about a half cup of dried fruit. If you're looking at fruit juice, it's a cup, which is like a little small glass of the fruit juice. Okay. So that's what counts as a cup of fruit.
And that's 100% fruit juice.
100%. Not partial, not like, you need to look at those labels.
Right.
And
Very
make sure.
important to check that. Okay.
Another thing, too, is going to be the vegetable group.
Okay.
A lot of times, most Americans don't eat enough vegetables on their plate.
Right.
So we're going to work at trying to get some more vegetables on that plate.
Okay.
So what counts as a vegetable? Anything that's 100% vegetable juice counts as a serving of vegetable.
Okay.
It can be raw, cooked. It can be fresh. It can be frozen, canned, or dried.
Okay.
So all of those things, a lot of people think only the fresh, but you can use different parts of the store to obtain your produce.
Okay.
And so canned is also good.
Right.
If you're concerned about salt content in the canned, you can always rinse those. It's not going to completely eliminate all the sodium in it, but it is going to reduce it.
Okay.
So you can also, it could be whole, cut up, pureed, mashed, all those things. Now, vegetables are organized into 5 subgroups. There's dark green, there's red and orange, there's beans, peas, and lentils. There's starchy vegetables and other vegetables. So vegetables can really incorporate a lot of things.
Oh, yeah.
Now, the beans and the peas, they also count as a protein.
Right.
So you can, when you have those beans on the plate, that's a great thing. You have like a protein source that is also great as well. And you want to look at what colors. So look at your plate and see, is my plate pretty colorful? Mm-hmm. And the reason why, and that includes the color white too.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
right.
So you can have like your cauliflower and all those types of things too. So is my plate pretty colorful? Because that's going to indicate some different nutrients on the plate.
Well,
so
one of the things that we see all the time, every time you cook at home, your vegetables and your fruits make such a colorful look. And that's how we know that we're getting a healthier option.
And automatically, it gives you a visual appeal when you look at that plate.
Yes.
So it's really good. And so we have like in our subconscious built in to be attracted to those colorful plates.
Right.
And so it's actually something that's good because it's going to give us that variety of nutrition on the plate.
And you're always good at making recommendations. Tell us a few things that we can get at Rouses.
Right. So I want you to look for, whenever you go to Rouses, look for something that says Dietitian's Choice. There's going to be some little shelf tags that's in the store, and it's going to be on some different items that I've selected to highlight throughout that month. Okay. So I'm putting up a few examples right here. And some examples are going to be, I have a goat cheese on here. So goat cheese is actually a lower sodium type of cheese.
Right.
So it's a really nice cheese to add to a salad and whatnot. Some Pero Farms, that is some vegetables in a bag. You have frozen fish, which is a great option, just like fresh fish is. So if you want to buy fish and you're like, I don't want to cook it the same day, you can grab a bag of that frozen fish. Some Move milk is another one that you can find in the dairy aisle. Sola bread is a low carb bread, also tastes delicious. And you have G. Hughes barbecue sauce, which is a sugar-free barbecue sauce. Shrewd Food, which is a protein crouton. You have Cindy's dressings. Rouse's electrolytes water, and Wild is a protein chip. It's actually made from chicken. So it's like a protein chip.
Wow.
Yeah. So there's some really cool options that, we really wanted to highlight at Rouses. So.
Wow. And they're all right there. You can check them out. Check for the tags that say Dietitian's Choice. We know that April made those, and we're always very glad for the updates, keeping us balanced, reminding us in the middle of the year that there are some things that we can do to continue to stay healthy throughout the year.
Right. Thank you so much, Keith.
Absolutely. And that will do it for this edition of Eat Right with Rouses. But don't go anywhere. I got a whole lot more local programming right here on HTV.